Hey guys, Civilord here, back again with another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Neca Toys Disney's Gargoyles Ultimate Suited David Xanatos, the final Neca Toys Gargoyles figure I have to review for now anyways. I still need to pick up the Armored Xanatos and the Steel Clan Robot, and this past weekend during New York Toy Fair, they did show off Macbeth, Coldstone, I think Jason Canmore, who is one of the Hunter triplets from the Hunter's Moon 3-parter. That was the finale of Season 2 of the series, as well as Gabriel, Angela's Rookery brother. So, very interesting. Also, they have not released it yet, but they also showed, was it Silver Falcon Broadway in the trench coat and hat. That was back at Comic-Con, but they had him on display at Toy Fair as well. So that's 5 more Gargoyles figures on top of the 2 I don't currently have that are actually out. And for those of you who are looking to catch up on this Neca Toys Gargoyles line, well, you're in luck because the fine folks over at Toy Stalker are not only ordering more of the newer figures, but they have plenty of the older ones in stock. I'll leave a link in the description below to their website, and remember, use the discount code FREESHIP99, that is FREESHIP in all caps, 99, to save shipping cost on all orders over $100 or more. Again, that's where I got this figure. In fact, they specifically listed it for me to pick up, so I can't thank them enough for the hookup there. And a really cool guy who runs the site. He's the one that also runs the Instagram. I've been back and forth with him many a time, and I look forward to talking to him again. So I hope he watches these videos. And if I get the discount code wrong, I hope he has a channel to correct me in the comments so I can pin that. I'm pretty sure I got it right now. Because I know in the Brooklyn, Broadway, and Lexington videos, I think I said ship free 99. I think it's free ship 99. Either way, you'll find out what it is because it's on the homepage. Hey, hey! That's not poor research, is it? What can I tell you? It's a free show. Alright? You get what you pay for, which is nothing. So, in the way of Xanatos' accessories, that's going to be hard to say. Xanatos' I feel like that hippopotamus Christmas song. He does come with a trigger finger hand and a relaxed hand for his big old honkin' laser rifle. Because, you know, Elisa can't get a gun, but he can get a big old honkin' laser rifle, right? That's only fair. Not the right hinge in the hand, though. So that kind of stinks, but oh well. I'm a stickler for that, if you haven't noticed. He also has a jazz hand and a thumbs up hand, which is kind of hilarious. So good job, Goliath. You totally kicked my arse. Yeah. That said, he does come with an alternate PO'd head. We don't have like a smirk head, because the head I want is the, if it weren't for me, you'd still be covered in moss. I want that head, because that's like the ultimate D-bag Xanatos face. That little smirk of his. But we get the PO'd head, and I think this is the head from the intro, where he's got the raised eyebrow, and he's sitting at the desk with his hands like this. Oh man, missed opportunity. We should have got another one of these hands, so you could sit him at a desk and have him doing that. That would have been awesome. Man, we need an accessory pack. That said, this doesn't show you what era this cartoon came out in. I don't know what will. You get a compact disc, which has valuable information to whom I don't know, but this is from the pilot, of course. It's a total freaking staged bullcrap scam to trick the Gargoyles into doing stuff they probably wouldn't have done otherwise. And then we get this dangly thing. I don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is. This isn't the Eye of Odin, that's for sure. Which is the last artifact we need. We need the Eye of Odin. I don't know where that is, but there you go. Maybe we'll get that with Fox. That'd be kind of cool. Especially the werewolf Fox. Ooh, that would be sick. That's a Season 2 Halloween special deep cut for those of you Gargoyles fanatics Gargoyles. That just sounds weird. That said, he does come with the blaster he used in the final part of the pilot. I don't even ever think he shot this. I think he just pointed it at him. And there's a big old hole on the end of this, so you can put this blast effect in there. Thankfully, it's not as massive as Thalog's. Ooh, that snapped in, didn't it? That was unsettling. That just made the pop. That's the first time I ever put this in here. Alright, I must have just chipped some paint or something. Yeah, kind of. It's not tight, but it's not loose. There you go. So he can shoot this off. I wish it just had like the pew pew on it instead of looking like it's hitting something. Because what is it gonna hit? Goliath in the chest? Like, that ain't long enough. Holding this with two hands, like, jeez. I would have just preferred a pew pew or something like what Hasbro does, ironically. But that said, that's your lot for accessories. Other than this one thing I have chilling off cam here. Just gotta make sure I grab it and not something else. There we go. So moving Xanatos over. He comes with Demona's Cloak Wings. Like Brooklyn's, have the little outie bits which I'm trying to warp in, so hopefully over time that will happen. There you go, there's Demona with her cloak wings. And the plus side about hers, I lift her hair up here. Hers aren't connected on the back, so you don't gotta pop the head off to get them on there. So that's nice. That said, as far as Brooklyn's wings are concerned, they are connected on the back. And they restrict a lot of arm movement. So over time, I would like to see the A-shaped wings. Those are the best kind, in my opinion. They're dynamic enough to not be, you know, kind of meh. And you can still pose the figures, but they won't take up as much space as the big old honkin' wings we're used to in this line. That said, I do not have a Kenner comparison for this video because I don't have the suited Xanatos figure from Kenner. That came with a vehicle, I believe. It was like a red car. I think it was called a coupe or something. And that was an exclusive figure to that vehicle, and that vehicle has gotten kind of pricey over time. So I unfortunately do not have that particular Xanatos figure. So when I do eventually get the armored Xanatos, we will be doing a comparison to his Kenner figure, because I do have both the regular and the kind of silver version of armored Xanatos from the Kenner line. So we'll be doing that at some point in the hopefully near to distant future. But as far as Xanatos' articulation is concerned, he does have a double ball peg in the head. Ironically, you get the whole neck when you rip the head off here. I can do it. It is pretty tough, but it can be done. And now you can make a headless Spectre from Scooby-Doo Custom. That said, you can pop this thing back on here. It's going to be kind of hard. Yep. Pretty hard. Probably better with heat. I don't know if that's on there. I know it's not. Let me really push on it. That was my arm. Okay. See, I knew that was a bad idea. That has to be on there now. Gee whiz. His shoulders go out to the side, as you just saw. They go back down. They rotate forward and back. He does not have a bicep swivel, but he does have a swivel at the elbow here. Right there. And he does have his suit coat kind of goes over this, so not the best kind of pinless elbow. I don't know, I never cared for these style of NECA elbows. They just seem clunky and overcomplicated to me. They're not very clean. There's a lot of cuts here. And if that's what they're going for, they didn't really get that. He does have a swivel at the lower one as well, so you get two swivels there. He does have a swivel and a hinge in the wrist. As far as the wrists go, you can pull them out pretty easy. and put them back in. That said, speaking of Scooby-Doo, you could make, what's that guy's name? Is it, Ravencroft from Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost out of this guy if you put some glasses on him and painted the suit red instead of gray and maybe brightened up the skin tone a bit. You can make that Ravencroft guy. That'd be kind of cool. That said, as far as the torso goes, I don't see a diaphragm joint. So yeah, he's got very minimal forward and back. He does have a waist twist though, so that's good. His hips kick out, back down, forward, back, thigh cut, single knee. Surprised he's got a single knee, but Elisa has a double. He does have a swivel there as well, but you do get the thigh cut, so you don't really need that. Then what he does have, he's got a swivel in the ankle here. So he's got a ball hinge, essentially. He's got a hinge, a rocker, and a toe joint. Look at that. A pretty solid toe joint, all things considered. Ah, pinch my thumb, you bugger. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I dig that. I like that it's not loose, at least. I'm still not a big fan of toe joints, but his isn't loose. I will say, now, I'm not sure if he's drawn like this in the comics, but in the show, Xanatos' shoulders were quite broad. That said, from certain angles, you get a little bit more of that broadness, but I will say, he was quite built in the cartoon. He had a very he looked more like superhero proportions in the cartoon. Last I checked anyways. It's been a while since I've watched anything from Gargoyles, which I'm kind of ashamed to admit that, to tell you the truth, but maybe after reviewing all these figures I'll get in the Gargoyles mood and turn a few clips on ye old YouTube. As long as there are clips to find. Sometimes it's kind of hard to find any, but with that being said, let's now move on and take a look at some size comparisons. And since we already took a look at how Xanatos here scaled with Demona, here he is with the only other quote-unquote villain we have in this Neca Toys Gargoyles Ultimates line, Thalog, whose wings I took off to save on space here, as well as the OG, Big Daddy Goliath. Of course, we couldn't show Xanatos without showing him next to Goliath, of course. Moving Thalog out of the way here. Gotta say, that figure's probably getting dusty. I don't bring him out very often. Here is Xanatos alongside the only other human character we got in this Gargoyles line so far, unless you want to count the armored Xanatos, of course. Elisa Maza, not Eliza Maza, because that drives Greg Weisman freaking bananas. I already went over that joke in the Elisa review from yesterday, but I figured I'd bring it up again here. That said, speaking of that Elisa review, moving Big Daddy Goliath out of the way, here is Brooklyn with his cloak, just to give you an idea how he scales with a slightly smaller gargoyle character there. I know Brooklyn's pushed out quite a bit because of his tail, but he is shorter. And moving Elisa out of the way. Here is, of course, the infamous Mythic Legion's brother Mandibulus. Right there. And moving Brooklyn out of the way. Hopefully he doesn't fall down on me. Here is the 11 Spawn, who is a little taller than Xanatos. He is also forward a bit. Yeah, take that into account, but there you go. So, with that being said, it's time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and much like I said in the Elisa Masa review I did just yesterday, check that out if you haven't already. Would really appreciate it if you did. I'm totally unopposed to getting more human characters in this NECA Toys Disney's Gargoyles Ultimates line, especially if it means we get more draped wings for the gargoyles themselves. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen any for Angela yet, considering the fact that she would just have, you know, Goliath-colored version of what we have with Demona here. And side note, I do kind of like the little shoulder spikes the female gargoyles get when their wings are draped. I think that's a nice touch and kind of gives me Spawn vibes, if I'm being honest. That said, the only one we really haven't seen like a mold for cloak wings for yet is Hudson, because his are a little bit more unique because he's got wear and tear on the wings. We haven't seen anything for him yet, but I'm hoping that with New York Toy Fair this past weekend, one of those figures will come with cloak wings for him. And while we're on the topic of human characters and cloak wings, I would be unopposed to getting an Anton Savarius with cloak wings for Thalog, since we also don't have any for him. And his would be really easy because they'd just be Goliaths, but in, I want to say black, but I guess he's more of like a deep, dark purple. But in the show, his skin looked black like Blackheart's, which, cool custom idea if someone took that Thalog figure and made a Blackheart out of it. It's a good base for it. But with all those ramblings being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.